Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abid, and today I will be reviewing a book, rather a novel by Khalid Hussaini. The novel name is A Thousand Splendid Sun, which is written in 2007. Let me tell you something about Khalid Hussaini. Khalid Hussaini is an Afghan-born American who currently resides in the United States of America. He wrote his first novel in 2003, The Kite Runner, which was a mental roller coaster for me. It had created lump in my throat while reading it. So he has right has attracted me a lot, and now I got this book, A Thousand Splendid Sun, and today I'm going to review it to you. So, unlike his previous novel, here the story is about two Afghan girls, Maryam and Laila, both married to the same man, Rasheed. Maryam is basically the illegitimate child of a wealthy man, Jalil, and Nana. Nana is one time's housekeeper of Jalil. For the first 15 years, Maryam lives a secluded life with Nana in a shack, which is called Kolba in traditional Afghan language, situated in a clearing away from the main town. Um, as a penance for his adultery, Jalil comes weekly to visit Maryam. Jalil brings small gifts and news of the world. Maryam basically inherits two conflicting views from her parents. From her mother, she comes to know that a harami, an illegitimate like her, must endeavor a lifetime of pain, and Jalil views is that there is a whole world to discover beyond the Kolba. So she derives two conflicting ideas. When she grows up on her 15th birthday, Maryam goes for the first time to the Herat house. The Herat house is basically owned by Jalil. He is an affluent guy, as I said. However, she is barred entry by Jalil's legitimate children and wives, and she is forcibly taken home. But when she returns home, she sees that Nana has hanged herself, and that is something really tragic for her. It is a trauma for her. Uh, though she endeavors somehow, but she has no option, so she returns back to Jalil's house. But this time she is completely barred from entering to the house. For a while, she stays at Jalil's guest rooms. However, Jalil's wives are keen to get rid of her and therefore arrange for her to be married to Rashid. Rashid is a man from Kabul who is 30 years senior to her. Mariam is in deep grief, uh, but still she shifts to Kabul with Rashid. Although Kabul is a modernizing city where women have greater liberties of expressions, Rashid, however, proclaims that he is traditional. Rashid asks Mariam to wear a burqa. Mariam slowly grows accustomed to Rashid and begins to enjoy her status as a legitimate wife rather than an illegitimate child. Uh, but the problem here, heralds from some miraculously heralds, and that is Mariam's 7 pregnancies end in miscarriage. Relations aren't good between Mariam and Rashid post these episodes. Rashid actually desperately wants a son to compensate for the one who drowned in a previous marriage. Uh, After these episodes, Rashid becomes violent and contemptuous toward Mariam. But here the unfortunate happenings occur, and that is in 1978 on the eve of the Soviet takeover of Afghanistan. Laila is born. Laila, born to Fariba and Hakim, Rashid and Mariam's neighbors. Laila, a rare beauty, grows up intellectually. Laila is well enlightened and well educated. Laila is encouraged by her father but is ignored by her mother. Laila's mother only thinks of her sons who are fighting in the Mujahideen's army against the communist Russia. Laila never truly knew her older brothers. Laila grows up close to Tariq, a carpenter's son whose leg was blown off by a landmine. The Soviets leave in 1989. Guerrilla fighting follows, and the streets are dangerous. Laila therefore has to be taken out of school. As she enters her teens, Laila's relationship with Tariq deepens and becomes more flirtatious. Tariq tells her that he must leave Kabul with his ailing parents, and he and Layla become physically intimate just before his departure. A few weeks later, Layla's own family is begging to move away from Kabul. However, before they can get away, a bomb explodes and unfortunately killing Layla's parents. Tariq tells her that you should go with me, but she didn't accept his proposal by that time. And then the explosion creates the sad miasma. Laila is somehow saved by Rashid. Mariam nurses her back to health. Unfortunately, at that moment, a messenger visits her, telling her the terrible news that Tariq is dead. Rashid asks Layla to become his second wife because now Rashid has gotten chance to force her to be his wife. Layla agrees because she has no other option, only because she realizes that she is pregnant with Rashid's child and needs a stable home to ensure the child's safety. Layla marries Rashid and attempts to pass off the child as his own. In the beginning, the problem is Mariam is very hostile towards Layla. Mariam thinks Layla to be a husband stealer, which is called in Pashto Bana. Aziza is born a girl, right? This is the point of convergence for both. United by their love for Aziza and their detest for Rashid's manifolds. Layla and Mariam form a powerful bond, and even when they attempt to run away, they are discovered and returned home, where Rashid punishes them brutally. Then the Taliban government came, and Taliban rigid and misogynist laws comes to power. Leila finds that she is pregnant again with Rashid's child. She gives birth to a son, Zalmai, and Rashid's that this very instant very unfortunate happenings occur, and that is Rashid's shoe shop burns down and he cannot hold another job. The family's grave financial difficulties mean that Aziza has to be sent to an orphanage while Zalmay continues to be spoiled. One fine day, a stranger suddenly comes to their home, and that is Tariq. Tariq hasn't died yet. It is just a mess, interpreted, and somehow that messenger brought a false news to Laila by that time. When Zalmay tells his father of their visitor, Rashid has Laila in a deep grip, and Rashid decides to kill Laila. But what Mariam does is Mariam murders him with a shawl in order to save Laila's life. Then Mariam knows that the two wives of a murdered husband would not have a chance of victory in the Taliban's court. Mariam gives herself up and is sentenced to death, while she encourages Laila to elope with Tariq and the children. Laila and Tariq live in Pakistan for a while, but after a year return to a more peaceful Kabul to help rebuild the city, and they return to Kabul back. So this is the whole story. The point is, this is something like a mental roller coaster for someone who closely knows the Afghan culture. There is not some concrete message in this whole plot. One thing which is present in this story is, it is a recall of the Afghan culture. It is a true and accurate portrait of the Afghan culture. You know, If somebody who is closely observing the Afghan culture, he might be knowing that the Afghanis are, more likely inclined to polygamy. They marry for many, they marry many times. Like uh, they do it. This is prevalent in their culture. And another, I said, scourge in their culture is they often get married to girls younger than them, and that is something which is against the child marriages. And this child marriages is also quite prevalent in their culture. So it was overall plot of the novel. I hope you would have enjoyed it, and see you soon with a brand new video.